Hello and welcome, it's Jennifer here at Peacock-Smith, and today I'm going to be showing you how to stick paper onto things. Somebody asked me on Facebook the other day how to stick paper onto things that you want to decoupage on and tangle on and so on without it getting wrinkly, and so I'm just going to do a really simple demonstration here. So the first thing to note is that paper expands when it gets wet, and all glue, even hardish stick glue, has a level of moisture in it, and so the paper takes on the moisture, expands and wrinkles. So there's actually not a lot that you can do about that. There are all kinds of ways to combat it, however, and I'm just going to show you one simple way. So you will need your paper, your thing it's going to stick on, your glue, and a spray water bottle. So I'm going to stick this purple piece of cardboard, which is scrapbooking paper, onto there. So that's my area that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to just trying to pencil line around it. You don't have to do that, but it's nice to know exactly where I'm going to be putting my glue so I don't do too much or too little. So there we go. Now I'm going to get my paper, and I'm now going to spray it with water. You can actually dip it in water, that works really well too, but I'm just going to spray it with water so that we don't land up with it really soggy. You can see almost instantly, I'm sorry that there's a bit of a reflection, but you can see almost instantly it starts to curl, and that's because this side of the paper is expanding as it takes on the water. So you can see it's really curling. That's the back. So I'm going to now spray the back, and you'll see that it very quickly flattens out because now both sides have expanded. So I'm really going to shake it out and just give it a couple of minutes to take on that water so that it will be as expanded as it's going to get. Again, you can dip that in water, but I find you'll end up with lots of drips. So there we go. I'm just going to set that aside and keep going. While that is sitting aside, soaking in its water, I've put it aside out of camera so that it doesn't stick to anything. I'm now going to put on a layer of glue. Now you don't want, the thicker the layer, the more glue you have, the more wet everything is going to be, and we don't need it to be sopping wet. We don't need the MDF to soak it in. We don't need it to soak into the paper when it comes on. So you need to have, just push that out the way, you need to have enough glue for it to stick and do its job, and the more even it is, the better. It dries quite quickly, so it just doesn't matter that that gets a little bit tacky. We don't want it sopping wet. Here's my paper, I just dropped it on the floor. It's still quite wet. It's expanded as much as it will. I don't want it to go all the way to the edge because I'm going to be doing it. And now really, really gently putting it in place. You can use a briar or a roller or something to roll it out flat. But whether this is on a canvas or a board, we're basically using as little moisture as we can in the glue, and we have already stretched our paper with the water. So now, look, if you push it and prod it, it depends on the paper. Some paper can handle a credit card. Sometimes, because you've actually wet the paper, it doesn't like that. So don't overwork it, don't over push it, remembering that your paper is quite wet. And then I would let this dry for the next 10-15 minutes, keeping a vague eye on it if any lumps come up. And that's really quite straight and flat. Now if that was on a canvas, it might bow a little bit, so you can now at this point turn it upside down and press some books on the back of the canvas to hold it down, but it should dry pretty flat. So I hope that really helps. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.